How are you doing, guys? Welcome to today webinar. Welcome to today meeting. I'm very happy to be the first speaker in the facts today, but the most importantly, opportunity to connect with all of you. Such a beautiful Saturday day here, like where I am talking is very sunny. Europe is still have nice and warm weather. In general, I hope that in your countries you have some good weather as well, and the most important, good mood for today's webinar. Can you please put from 1 to 10 if you can hear me very well, if you can see me very well, and how are you in general? Awesome, awesome. I can see lots of 10, 10, 10 English speaking chats. Somebody sending us hearts. Awesome. Well, for those who are very new, and if you are the first time attend such webinar, can you please put plus in the chat if you are maybe new member of the Everreach community, and this is one of your first webinars you have attended. My name is Mila Serdjukova, and I've been in the company for the last, almost 7 years. My journey started with simple educational webinar, where I really fell in love with the idea of having investment and finance education. And my journey started as a student. So I never applied for any positions in the company. I never could have even imagined of like working my way on a career ladder within our organizations. All what I wanted initially was just to learn about finance and investment and see where this path will take me. And for us, fast forward 7 years, run extremely fast. There have been lots of ups and downs. Like I think we all have this in our lives, in our business. Those of you who are businessmen, those of you who are having kids, having families, and even in your personal life, I believe you can also connect with having up and down, good and bad days. So same here, been in business, been through the roller coaster of everything. But amount of experience I managed to get working together and building a new economic coalition of the world is enormous. So today I work in very much on the strategic, like with the strategic department, trying to see what will be the best outcomes for the companies, how we can take our vision further. I love the concept of the MLCI. I love the concept of NEEW, and same like majority of you here in the room. I started from either investment webinars, financial literacy, or building the business. Slowly, I expanded my ways to further to see how I can help the company. And like in anything in life, the more energy we put into something, then we receive more. And I believe in a universe law, the more you give, the more you receive. So maybe among you, we have some new people. We have somebody who are been in the company for a long time, and you believe that you can give a value, maybe you have some amazing expertise in some areas, then please do stand up. I believe it's the right time today is to actually have a look who we have in our companies, because we've been in the business for almost 8 years. I will remind you that October is going to be anniversary of MLCI, 8 years. And I'm sure among you guys, we have some people who can add massive value to the company, to the vision, to make it further, to bring this concept and help us to create new economic evolution in the world. But that's a very short introduction about me. Let's go to the next slide. So today we're going to have very unusual meeting, I would say. First, we're going to go through some theoretical, little bit an educational part on the venture capital markets. I will touch upon some global investment portfolio project we have. Some of you know this project as the WCRU. And then we have strategy selections and timeframes. And then we will finish up with one of the projects which has been recently launched, which is FNT token pre-sale or whitelist. But before going further, I would like to stop here little bit to have a clarity. So many of you have been asked in chats into the social media, what is happening in the company, what is happening today, like in general, where the company is taking the people, and there are lots of questions being coming from the public. So if you have somebody who ever asked you this question, or maybe you are the one who still have uncertainty, please make sure that you invite them to this webinar, because we will try our best, myself and two more speakers, to explain you simple and clear where the company will take us. Because again, I'm not identifying myself as the person who is making like a solo decisions. I am also the company a co-owner like you are. And there are certain things which we're facing at the moment, which I would call a bit a tough time. You're probably asking yourself or in chats where the Andre is, because the Andre is our CEO of the company, and he's the one who brought the vision of the NEEW and vision of MLCI. Well, unfortunately, he's not here with us today. And I wish that this webinar was done by him, where he could have, with his energy, tell us about his vision and his plans, and and explain where the company will be in the next 5, 10, 20, or 100 years. But unfortunately, the things are like they are. And today, climate, political and economical climate, it's really putting the company in very challenging positions. I don't know how much you're following the news, but for the last less than months, another 5 companies who've been dealing with either a network or investment, they actually reported that they are failing. Some of the companies were labeled like scams. Some of the companies were simply could not continue the business. So there are lots of things happening in today's world, which are the challenges. But I believe where the challenge is, then opportunity also is there. And it's up to you how we look at the challenges. There are some people who can have a look at the difficult times and said, you know what, I just have to get on with it. Some people might say, you know what, I decided to quit and this is not for me. Or some people might say, you know what, I'm gonna be there calmly and I will have a look and then I will decide. And whatever that's for you, it's your choice. But the most important for you to understand that as the company, as the vision, like we're not going anywhere. There are enough leaders today in our company who decided, include myself, include speakers who will speak today at this webinar, who decided that we are not going anywhere. We are committed. And no matter what happened today with the world, with the inflation, with the political, no matter if our CEO is not here, we will try our best to continue with our mission, and we will try our best to find the right solutions. And this webinar is all about this. So I invited you to also make some choices. Where do you see yourself in the company? Because at the end of the day, I can beautifully describe and paint the picture in your mind where we're going, but it is not up to me only. We have 1.5 million of people database. We have so many projects to have, to run, to look after, to perform, to launch. And it's not one-man business, and it's never have been like this. So it's all about having other people commitment as well, having people support. So I hope that today we're going to have some powerful and honest talk, which is the most important, and you will have a clear understanding where we're going and why certain strategies has been selected. Let's go to the next slide. Let's have a look, a bit of theory. Next slide, please. Venture, I wanted to select this specific slides. I know they have lots of text, and please just take the print screen because I believe this is very important. And I know that many people from like who attended this webinar, at least in English speaking chat, you're coming from Academy of Private Investor, or you're coming from like projects which was there having an aim to provide education. If this is the case, if you are coming from education point of view, can you please put the plus in chat? Because I believe it's very important to, before we going into the explanation about the portfolio, to spend at least like 5 minutes on educational topic. There are lots of strategies and myths in the world around investment. And one of the biggest myths that's happening, that's people can, in order for a person to start taking like having a good knowledge into the investment, you need to first invest lots of money, which is not the case. And me having my background where my first investment was only £500 in that time, I can tell you honestly, with the portfolio I have managed to create today is completely different like it's completely different category. So their investment comes from first from the mindset and desire to have fulfilling your personal goals, whatever it is, save money or multiply money, whatever that's, it's you, but it's all comes with the mindset first. And you as investor, whatever experience or not experience, you need to understand that investment and economy, they have cycles. And if you will have a look, or if you will read any books into them, like economical topic, you will realize that there are lots of events has happened in prior in history, which actually dictates how investment is working in general. I'll give you example. What today is happening with oil and energy. Have a look how these events are reflecting investment world. Is reflecting a lot. So that's why economical cycles and investment cycles, they always synchronize together. And if you would, if like, I wish I had this graph here, like I didn't put this in the slides, but you can see how through the time, like economy goes up and down like this with the circles, and investment cycles, they go exactly same way. So when you've been invited to the project of global investment portfolio, since day one, we have outlined that this is a kind of high risk project, high risk investment project from the point of view that there is a certain capital which has been used in order to raise the company, in order to invest in the companies. And if you have a look on our portfolio, the majority of companies, they did not even existed. So it was more like invested into the idea. And this is what venture capital investment is when group of investors or group of companies, they are selecting the projects which they believe it's very promising, and they invest in the funds into this young and promising idea of projects, which is in long term will provide them with a good returns. And keywords here, long term would provide with the good returns. The venture capital, it's like venture capital investment, and it's not about making money like fast here and now. For that, we have a different options, like, for example, the business. So if you do actively involved in the business creation of MLCI, then you can receive referrals instantly. So this is not investment, but this is more like how you can make the money. So then you can reinvest the money into your portfolio based on the goals and plans you have. But if you look at the global portfolio as such, when it was created from day one, it always been a selection of the investment instruments which are very promising. They have a high market value potential, and these projects, they can be globalized. Remember the new economic evolution of the world, the main idea is to be co-owner of the companies which then can impact your life as well. Let's say you're co-owner of their like gold mining company. You're co-owner of the energy company, which then you can also consume. You're co-owner of the perfume company, which then you can consume the product. So that's why, you know, going further with the new economic evolution of the world development, the global portfolio was selected from the idea of what projects can be long-term, what projects can provide with the biggest returns, what project can be globalized, and what project can give the biggest value to the community. Because at the end of the day, we did not have a single project in our portfolio which is just, you know, like useless, which is not there to serve anybody. Every single project we have is there with idea of serving people, serving community. Let's go to the next slide. But they all are part of the venture capital investment, which is defined by having a risk and high profit potential investment instrument. So there are different stages of the venture capital investment, and you can see them also in your screen. So it started from the seed stage, where the company idea has been discussed, when the team is created, when something just happens on the first surface, when you don't have yet a product, you don't have yet like tangible assets, you only have like this idea, and you have like a good business plan. So how this idea could be implemented. The second stage is called startup, or a newly formed company. And this stage, when the company already officially has started, there are some prototypes are present, the market research conducted, advertising campaign take place, and mass production is launched. So let's say we have today project Eversend. So the Eversend will be a good example of the startup, because the Eversend already has passed the seed stage, and it is in startup phase where there is a production already started. The people start receiving some samples, and actually Put Plus, he already received perfume from the Eversend project. So the Eversend will be a beautiful example of the startup company. The next stage will be early stage, which means that the production and sales of the product established, but there is not yet a stable profit. The firm has not yet reached a break-even point. All the processes go into circulation to ensure the further growth. Let me ask you an example. From our global portfolio, those of you who have been in the company for some times, what company you believe could be at early stage at the moment? Give me some ideas. What company could be defined as their early stage company? Any ideas? Well done, Ram. I would say Unitex, yes. I would say also Goop as well, yes. Adil, well done. So the global UnitPay as a company, it has already the product. The company already started. It has own team. It has been established in the market. And the company is doing everything in order for them to go to the expansion stage, because the early stage, different between early stage and expansion, that's early stage, there's not enough money yet generated, so there's not a stable profit of the company yet. So both Unitex in the fact and global UnitPay, they will be under this category that they are early stage. Eversend, still I would put them in a startup, because Eversend has not yet established its presence on the market. The big bottles of 75 milliliters, which is the main product of the Eversend, is not yet been created. So that's why Eversend is still on the startup period, but the early stage, Global UnitPay and Unitex, they will be under the early stage. Expansion stage means that the company has found a niche in the market, has reached its steady profit, development continues, launching new products line, conducting research, increasing its working capital. So I would say from what I seen how our portfolio works, probably Academy of Private Investor could be an expansion stage, but the reason why I would put Academy, because it has been created prior. So initially, Academy was not a part of the global portfolio concept. It was the standalone company. And because this company is actually been in the market this year, it's going to be 11 years. Guys, Academy will celebrate this year 11th year anniversary. It's massive number, especially for the business. So I would say it is an expansion stage, because the company has been in the market prior the global portfolio concept. That this was the only company which is entering the portfolio already had on products, on market, on niche, on clients, and that's why this company is much more further than the rest of the companies we have in our portfolio. The mezzanine stage is the additional step, but not always encountered. During this stage, the company tries to attract additional investment to improve the performance before selling shares during IPO or during the pre-IPO. Well, we don't have any companies from our portfolio who will be in mezzanine stage. And in fact, majority of the companies are in the seed stage and startup. An exit strategy or exit stage will be the company goes to public by selling shares during the IPO or during the pre-IPO. And again, the exit stage, like in today crypto economy, it could be different. It is not just exit for investors when the company hits IPO. There are also different ways how investors can get the exit. So what exit means for investors? When you invest your money into the certain company and then you decided that now you want your capital plus the profit back. if the company will generate some profit. So this is called exit for the investors. So at the moment, there are so many exits exist in the market. So the IPO is one of them. Then it could be different ways of their IPO, like it could be STO. This is what we are now in the process of doing with the global portfolio. It could be like payback from the company. It's also could be like one of the version of the exit, or it could be when company attracts bigger investors and investor buys some shares from the company, and then company offer to exit to the early investors. So there are so many things and into their investment world which can be an exit, but the most important is personal decision. When do you think is the right time to exit for you? And same like when you build in your portfolio, and those of you who have been in academy for some times, you heard it probably many times, but those of you who are new, really listen this carefully. So when it comes to the investment, it's always based on your strategy. Warren Buffett once said that there are people who are approaching him and asking, can you share your strategy? Can you share what exactly you do so we can just simply copy, so we can copy paste your strategy, and then every single person can be as rich as Warren. And then he laughed at this interview and he said, well, this is wrong, mistakenly way of thinking. If you think that I will provide you with their instruments when I enter the instrument and when I exit, and if you're going to do exactly the same, it doesn't mean that you will reach the goals which I have. And this is very essence of the investment. Some people goals could be high risk, high profit investment. And those people, they will be selecting certain instruments which are high risk and which can provide with their high revenue. Some people goals could be creating long-term investment strategies, very safe for the next 20 or 30 years. So it's all will be depend on your investment goals, how you're gonna select the instruments around. So the global portfolio concept was we are creating the big pie. So every single person can be part of this pie. And people need to understand that global portfolio, it's always been with a long-term thinking, because if you look at their time frames for each company to go from the seed stage to the exit could be years. And let's go to the next slide. So this slide is clearly shows you with their time frames how long it actually could take for a company, excuse me, to go from the seed stage to the exit. And if you have a look at these graphics, it might look a bit of complicated, but I will invite you to have a look at their certain like things on this graphic specifically. We have a timing, which is underneath, and we have each strategy name on above, so you can have a look how with the timing this graphics go up and then go stable, and then it's go up is again. So their seed and startups phases can take up to like from 1 to 5 years in general. Sometimes it can take up to 15 years. Those of you who have read the story of Alibaba, you can see how many years it actually took him to establish this concept, how many years it took him to attract the investors. So there are lots of proof in the world of investment that companies been very long on the seed and startup phase, because this is in fact the most riskier part, but this is the most rewarding. From another hand, you have heard the story of people who invested earlier on PayPal, who invested earlier at the Amazon or Apple, and you know how much these people made. So these are both sides of the seed and startup phase, where with the greater rewards comes a greater risk. And if the company managed to go through this like through the stages to the early development, then it will be much more easier for company to get and build momentum. So that's why at the moment, I would say majority of the projects which we have, they are still on the startup phase. For example, basalt, or for example, the gold mining. There's still lots of things which needs to be developed on the projects, and each project also require its own team, its own funding, its all additional elements, because each company, each project is a separate company. So that's why, we're going through these stages. And if you have a look from the seed to the exit, the total process can take around 5, 15, or 20 years. And each stage as well, from the seed to the startup to the early development, expansion, mezzanine, and exit, you can see how different investment associations are taking place. For example, on the seed and startup phases, the business angels, they would invest because they are happy to take the risk. Venture capital funds, why they called venture capital firms, because they select the high risk, high performance, or high returns possibility projects. So they will be interested. Then when we're talking about the middle stages, which are early development, expansion, and mezzanine, then the private equity and banks will be more keen to invest. And when we look at the exit strategies, then the pension funds, institutional investors, and hedge funds, they will be very interested because they're having completely different strategy. Maybe this a bit more technical, I don't know. Give me some feedback if it's understandable what I'm sharing with you. But the venture capital funds strategies will be completely different from pension fund strategy, because the venture capital funds, they are looking for something which can give them enormous profit, and they're happy to accept the risk. So they will be hunting the companies like PayPal or Alibaba. They will be hunting those who are very promising in the market. But the pension funds have a completely opposite strategy. They will not tolerate the high risk. They need something which is there, which has been in the market, have a proof of concept, have a ready product, and then they're happy to invest in this company or to buy this company. So then they can provide the people with the pension funds returns, which is fixed and which is guaranteed. So therefore, it is absolutely different strategies. But the question probably some of you have is, okay, Mila, but what is there for me? Like, why are you talking about such a long introduction and like lecture on investment? Let's go to the next slide. Let's have a look what is there for us and what is there for me too, because like yourself, I'm one of their greatest investors in the global portfolio. All my family or the co-owners, all my friends, and I build a business because I strongly believe where this company would like to take the people and how important of creation of the new economic evolution of the world, especially today, especially what is happening today with Europe, with America, with Russia. Like, it's crazy. Like, if we did not have the project like this, I don't know what I will be doing. Like, I will be stressing myself every day because it's too hard today to find the company, to trust them, and to see the progress. There are so many companies going there with the big promises and they fail, and there are so many companies who do this like not purposely, but because of some circumstances, like pandemic a few years ago, has left lots of people out of the businesses. So like, it is a challenging time, but with the global portfolio, it's always been something which I can get hold of. And as soon as the companies or businesses inside of the portfolio are working, I can sleep safely. But as investor, there's one thing which you need to understand. Having selection of the venture companies will actually automatically means that not every single company will take to the exit. It's impossible. Statistically, it's impossible. If you look at their venture capital companies, if you invest in 10 companies, maybe 1, 2, 3, I don't know, 3, but only few will actually take to the exit, or the only few will be the one who actually will provide for the entire like portfolio. And this is something you need to understand and accept. So that's why there is no point of people, asking what happened with this project, what happened with that project. Let's have a look at their whole picture and concentrate on those, like we call them winners. We call them those who actually working today with the full power, and they are on a much more further, because these projects are the one who will bring entire global portfolio to completely different time and space. Let's go to the next slide. So another great analogy with the seeds, which some of you already has heard probably many times. So if you look at each company, or we have as a little seed. So when we invested in the company when we invested into the separate companies, we look at each of the company from the concept point of view. The early phase means, remember, the company is not yet been established. So every single company which is now, you can see this on the screen, Gold Mining, Unitex, GUP, NDA, Dragonman, Ugain, even Average, it's all started with idea. So when these companies were invested into, they were seeds. My question to you, can seed give you fruit immediately? Yes or no? Can give you, like if you plant the seed tomorrow, like today, can you have a seed tomorrow? No. And somebody put excellent question, or the statement, William, in the English chat, the different seeds sprouts in the different time. This is another key element. So we have lots of seeds, and like they all beautiful, they all have massive potential, they all can give a human body energy and everything, but each seed is individual, and each seed will require own care, own team, on season. Some of the seeds will be growing faster, some of the seeds will take them slowly, but you need to look at the concept of global portfolio as the concept of having multiple seeds, and each company represents one seed type. But our aim is to actually grow these seeds so we can have, let's go to the next slide, we can have a fruit basket out of the seeds. But let me put this little, ask you this little checklist. I wish I didn't provide you with answers. I wish we could have done it together, but now you have the spot on the slides. So let's say, can all projects be 100% successful and give fruits? Unfortunately, no. And I told you this, it's not me just talking from the top of my head. There is a statistics which you can access like on Google or Investopedia, on any like investment related kind of documents, how many companies will succeed actually from the venture. But in general, in the business, it's exactly the same, like 95% of businesses failing. And only 5 businesses will actually become successful. So of course, we need to be realistic that not every single seed will give us a fruit. Can each project add value to the total basket? Absolutely yes, because each project has own evaluation. And those of you who are familiar with the Crown International Evaluation, which company received last year, you saw what is there as a potential. What is there as the potential of every single company we have, and all this potential blended together give us an investment evaluation for the portfolio, WCRU. So absolutely, each project can add the value and can add the potential growth to the global portfolio. Can some projects be dried or rotten? Unfortunately, yes. There are some concepts which have been introduced as something really unique, something really making the biggest change in the world. And when we are like, when the company was working on this concept, we realized that this is not exactly the case. This is not exactly true. So that's why there are some projects which are being too much promising, but they did not provide it with the results was expected. And again, this is something that needs to be also understandable, that when we invest in a new project, the project owner or who created this project can draw the beautiful picture. And we can believe in this picture because we believe on his abilities. But at the end of the day, it's up to that person who have this concept to make this concept into the reality. So that's why, yes, there are some projects which are not that good, which are dried or which are rotten. and they will not be there as a priority at the moment to invest additional funds. And number 4, can some project be successful and cover up entire invested cost? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Again, statistically shows if at least 1 or 2 the projects out of the venture capital project list will succeed it, more likely that this project's rewards will bring you much more than you have invested into other company which has failed. Those of you who are into the crypto economy and maybe have selection on different tokens, you see this in your example. If you invest in a 10 or 20 potential tokens, maybe 2, 3, 4 will be going well, the rest might not be, and lots of will be completely scam in less than like 6 to 8 months. Am I correct? Put plus of you can relate to what I'm saying. I have also my crypto portfolio, and it's just crazy things happen in there. It's like, I don't want to say that this is like a lottery, but sometimes I feel like it is, because there are so many coins and they all put beautifully beautiful white papers. Nowadays, everybody can do beautiful conceptualization. And I invested into the few of them, and only maybe 1 or 2 was actually successful. The rest just completely went under. So that's why even if some 1 or 2 projects from whatever that you invested in general will give you the great profit, then it will cover up for whatever the money you lost with other projects. So this is very simple. Let's go to the next slide. How we see and how like our people, partners, students, our leaders to look at our global portfolio, to understand what is the essence of it, what are the stages, where we are at the moment, and most importantly, to have correct investor mindset when you understand what needs to be taken in order for the companies to give a fruit, in order for this fruit basket really be a rich fruit basket. Let's go to the next slide. And just a little reminder for those of you who are very new, we had a separate webinars on the global portfolio, which will be sent to you on email. For those who registered with us, they usually part of the closed meetings, but closed meetings can be run only by Andre, because he's again the ultimate CEO of the WCRU company. So that's why I will send it to you. We'll ask our support to send you links for the previous recording of webinar, which was on, I believe it was February or March, where Andre explains every single pie from our portfolio, and he explains exactly how much money was invested, where the company now, and what needs to be done in order for each company to expand, to take it further. So if you have not watched this webinar yet, please make sure that you do. It will be sent to your back office, because only people who sign NDA, they can access closed meetings. So those of you who have signed the NDA in your back office, you will be receiving a notification probably on Monday with the webinar link, so you can have a look at recordings. But very brief, this is how our portfolio look like. So we have financial technologies, 38% approximately of the portfolio is financial technologies. And here we have different companies, include like GP, we have Global Unitex, we have Quantum. So we have so many companies which are under financial technology flag. So they all there, and as you can see, it's 38%. We have some finance to stock markets. Like the reason why it's 0, we used to have larger investment into the stock market, but at the moment, I believe in February, so the company has exited some of the stocks market entirely. And then we have investment into the gold, and as you know, gold is one of the again safest investment instruments from investment point of view. But our gold investment, it is not where we invest in a physical gold. There are a few companies which are under the labeled under the gold investment, but some of them are gold mining, which are at early startup phase. They need to still be developed. Then we have a transportation technology. Those of you who are old member, you know, innovation transport solutions. So it's approximately 16.9% of their entire portfolio are under transport, innovative transport solutions. Then we have some investment into the property. There is some property in Russia, there property in Thailand. There is some equity when we co-own the companies. There are some companies we have which are not entirely our company. So it was somebody else's idea and we are invested into somebody else's businesses. So it's equity investment. Plus we have educational, of course, company and balance funds approximately 10%, but it's the graphic needs to be probably corrected because at the moment, I don't think that the balance funds are 10%. They are they're less, but these are the main I would say segments of the global portfolio we have. And for those of you again who are new to this, I invite you to watch webinar which was done by Andre. It's like 4 hours webinar, but he explains each segment in much more detail. So I just want to give you a brief overview of what we have. But again, as you correctly put here on the chat, Tom and other people, even if you have a look at, you know, we have a segment, then we have some companies underneath. And even if you take 1 or 2 companies under some segments, they are very, very promising. They can provide with a huge returns. And on that note, I would like to go to the next slide, which called a harvesting strategy. And the next speaker is a dear friend of mine, the person who's working 24/7, who's very committed. He always been to the committed to what we do and who we are. But I think, you know, that when you have a good time, everybody is committed, everybody is happy. But when you have not a good time, then you can really see who left there. And we have beautiful leaders and so many people who are with us because they understand that, you know, the company will be there no matter what, and we will find the way, we always do. But this person is working with his full heart, and he does everything, and sometimes like even impossible things in order to really guide the company and help the company to fulfill the promises which like we all have been followed, we all have been made, because many of us, we build the businesses, and he's the one who actually will be here no matter what, and it's great responsibility taken. So I would like to invite to this webinar Armands Murnieks, who will go much more detail and explain you about a harvesting strategy. And I will see you a bit later at the end of the webinar. Armand, floor is yours.
Thank you, Mila. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Please, let's give a big round of applause to our amazing strategist, Mila Serdjukova, because the one of the reasons why today we are here is because of her initiative. And I think that she did an amazing job, isn't it? So first of all, please tell me if you hear me very well. Just let's test the microphone in all the rooms. Awesome. Yes, I really connect to what Mila just said. A lot of people were there, you know, when everything was good. And I'm not talking about just in the company. I spoke today to one person, no, it was yesterday. I spoke to one person who is in the logistics, and he said that he was, let's say, making some analogy that there is a companies like a big companies who are harvesting grains, and with some machinery there happens some issue, and you know, like they are waiting for the small, let's say, detail that they need to, like a small component, and because of this component, so that machinery is not working properly. And imagine, so this is a big company, like we are talking about $1 million machinery, and one little thing broke. And today, delivery takes I think that in the waiting list, he has like over 1 year. So it means that if we are looking globally what is going on today, so that because of these political issues, guys, a lot of companies, a lot of businesses today are suffering. And that's why I'm really happy to call those people who are here, and we have today in both rooms, just in Russian and English. So we have about, I don't know, 600 people. And you are the one, guys, like why we are still doing what we are doing. And I would like to find out today. So can you please press plus in the chat if you are today considering yourself as, okay, let's do like this. So press 1 in the chat if you consider yourself as proactive people. Proactive. Perfect. So press 2 if you consider yourself as an active people. Active. Okay, so proactive, active, pretty much the same people. And then press 3 if you consider yourself as people who are sitting on the fence, like a waiting list. It's nothing, you know, shame about to be in this category. Thank you very much for being honest. Can we have please next slide? Yes, so on this slide, so I will use the chat a little bit here. So on this slide, what I want to show you, that's what Mila already pretty much covered, but we have all the tools in our hands. And proactive people, I want to start from the main one, right? So proactive people, those are the people who are considering the situation. They are like they are looking very clearly in the situation, and they are asking themselves, all right, what, sorry, so someone is calling me. So they're asking themselves, okay, what I can do, how I can help, like what is in my toolbox today to help. But then the first category, those are the people who are waiting. Okay, so they're in a waiting mode. And I really love the way like it explains, let's see how it goes. So press 5 if you know people who are right now using this position, so that they are using the mode of let's wait. Let's see how it goes. Let me check what these guys gonna do. So then now if we are correctly stating this, then press 5 plus if the same people, the same category people who are saying let's wait and let's see how it goes, they are also counting on job that will be done by someone. Let's other do the work. So I already did it. I was, you know, registering one time and I was supporting. So now let's wait. So please take a look in your answers, because this is a very crucial to understand that the same category of the people, and this is a majority. So all what they do, they just rely on others. And this is a cool if you consider yourself as a just investor. But if you remember that entire new economic evolution of the world mission, idea, and plan was based on the co-ownership. And if you remember, I was explaining the difference between investors and co-owners. So investors are those people who invest the money into the company, and then they are like looking only for the profit. If there is no profit, then they just jump out, they take the money and they go to another business opportunity. They go to another investment instrument. So they just go and invest that money into other investment tools, correct? So, but when you are co-owner, so just for a second, imagine that you build your own business. And if you are not doing anything about it, that business gonna die. And this is the explanation, Mila, to you as well. Okay, that question, not the question, that statement that you stated when you introduced me. This is the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I'm considering myself as a co-owner. This is my business, and everything what I'm doing today, it will reflect on the outcome in the nearest future. Does it make sense, guys? If yes, then press from 1 to 10. 1, it doesn't make sense at all. 10, it makes complete sense. 5, it's like a so-so. So, but then the same category of the people who are in the waiting list and let's say using that passive strategy, when they will understand only this bit, they can easily go into the active. And now let's vote. Press plus if you would like to see those people, that bunch of people who are relying on you, who are using that passive strategy, that you would like to see them in active. Great, this is what I'm doing. Every time when I meet someone and I see that these people are using passive strategy, I'm saying, listen, just if you will understand the difference between the co-owner and between the investor, then you might gonna be transferring into the active strategy or survival strategy. And this is even better because it's a one step closer to the proactive strategy that I just mentioned at the beginning. So, and shit happens, right? So, as I said, nobody expected anything that is happening right now in the world. And trust me, nobody is expecting what's going to happen tomorrow. There is no possibility for you to expect what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow will bring you the reality, but that reality will be based on your today's activity. If today you are doing activity and you are doing, I don't know, some healthy activities, then I can guarantee you 99.9% chance that tomorrow you will be healthy. If you are today doing something which is not healthy, then 99.9% guaranteed that tomorrow it will be unhealthy. Are you with me? And then you understand that, okay, in order for me to switch the strategy from waiting to active, all what I have to do, I have to start to do something that will determine what will be the future tomorrow. And that is a survival. But now I would like to see tens, if guys, you are happy to move either from the first or from the second to the proactive. What are the best options to give desired results? With whom I can do it. So let's maybe organize some groups. And I know that there's already people in different countries who are organizing the groups. They are standing together. That is because they understood, okay, so whatever will happen tomorrow, it's based on my activity today. I hope that I explained pretty well how we can change entire temperature in our company today from, you know, almost like being sick into going completely healthy. So can I have next slide, please? So planning and preparation. So why we are joining into these communities and teams, I really would like to point out some people who are in the top leader group, and they are right now having going extra mile. They are getting into uncomfortable activities just in order to get themselves in the shape. And when they are in the shape, they will be able to positively impact entire company. So let's get back to what Mila just said. You remember about the seeds. So there are different seeds, and all these seeds are having really great potential. So today we already choose from that bunch of seeds, we choose the seeds that we really would like to see growing and see delivering and allow us to harvest all the benefits. So what we are also doing right now, and this is not anymore like a part of the plan, it's already, so we are hiring right now teams. And one of the person you already seen in the previous webinars it's Alex and his team and his company, so who are right now helping us a lot to increase the value and let's say getting quicker to the end result. So that's what we all want, right? Also, we have to calculate the risks. And today, a lot of companies are gone from the market. And I've been telling this already for, I don't know, like years. I told, and I was doing a lot of research that a lot of companies, they went from the market. And there are two reasons why they did it. The first reason, they are already sick and tired of being, involved in the business activities. They want to get out and maybe start the new business. Or second, that was because they felt that, okay, something is going wrong in this market. And one of our products, if you remember, it was Edu Cafe, so which was launched at the wrong time. And of course, we accept all your blaming and negativity and all these, concerns that you're putting. But again, guys, I'm telling you from my perspective, I'm involved with a lot of investors. I'm involved with a lot of people who have the businesses. And I'm telling you that there's none, let's say companies or how you call it, like companies or individuals who are actually every business that they launch, they succeed. It's impossible. So you have to gain the experience. But like Mila said earlier, that if one project in a venture business, if one project is taking on, then it covers all the other, investments. So next slide, please. Today, I would like to a little bit point out the projects that we, let's say, we are putting a little bit out from entire basket, which already been showed by Mila earlier, Evosend. So Mila said a lot of things about Evosend, but I can tell you something that I'm working right now on. There is one company, and I hope that we will be, let's say, I believe that we will be able to convince them to work together with us on a win-win basis. But imagine just for a second that Evosend has a potential not only be sold on the shopping floor, but if that will be added as an additional product or benefit to already existing saloons. So this is a completely different approach. And today I had the meeting with Evosend team, Jose, Galina. So we sat for 3 hours and we were working hard. And we were discussing, we were even fighting. And the reason why we do that, because we care. Aloka, how do you know that? So this is a completely different approach, not only just going traditional way, but be creative. And this is why Evosend. Another thing why Evosend, I explained this many times, but I will quickly go through these points. First, Ramon Behar. Ramon Behar has a 40 years experience. He is a well-known person. He is one of the, let's say, person today who can really state and say that, hey, listen, I have experience in this. I have a contact. I have already established businesses. I have references. And more important, I have done already results. And one of the results that I don't know if you are aware of, that in Singapore, Ramon Behar sold on the auction, Singapore auction, he sold one of his perfume for 190,000 euros. It's crazy. And imagine when you refer to this person, and of course, there were other people who were betting. Auction is going like one is betting 5,000, another is betting 10, 30, 40, 50, and only one person voted. So can you imagine how many people would like to have what they didn't get? Another thing, that today, this is a physical product, and this is something that we can start to use as a replacement for our, let's say, daily use perfumes. And I spoke to many of my friends and I said, hey, listen, are you using any of the fragrances? And of course, everyone has. So please press in the chat how many fragrances you have in your home. How many? I will start with mine. And I'm not talking right now about Eversend. I'm talking about just anyone. 10 plus, 5, 6, 3, 2. So basically what it means, and I would like you right now to please pay attention and write it down. So we see that every single person has different perfumes in their home. So, but guys, new economic evolution of the world stands for being not only consumers or users, but also to be the co-owners. So which means that why I have to use what I'm using, if I can replace it and I will still be using good quality perfume, but I will be benefiting my own investment portfolio. So I hope I just gave you a brief understanding why our team choose to select Evoscent as a one-off. Okay, so, and this is the project, like whatever success Evoscent will have, it will impact entire global portfolio. So plus this product is having all the possibilities to be run through the MLCI business. And now you have to, let's say, recall back what is MLCI? What are the 4 pillars? Who can tell me what are the 4 pillars of MLCI business? So we don't have anyone, yeah? 4 pillars, okay. Help me. The first, consumer. Second, business. Third, co-owner, entrepreneur, absolutely. So these are the 4 pillars. And now I hope you understand why. FNT, a lot of people are saying, hey, yes, you are just like you are just creating another product. Guys, we are going to the one mission, and that mission is to have billion people community, 1 billion. And if today we see that there is a slowdown in the MLCI, so what we are doing, we are creating products which will be accepted in the other communities. And I'm talking about the crypto communities. So that's why FNT. And of course, FNT couldn't be released earlier because Valentin will share more details. But if you remember from the previous webinars, so that company is already making profit. So which means that you create additional value in order to impact what? Success of FNT will reflect success of which company? No, exactly, Bob. Global unit pay. The global unit pay, is it part of the global portfolio? Yes or no? Absolutely. So that's why we are not, let's say, we are not pushing you to participate. We are just showing why we are doing this. And also NDE. So with our Italian partners, so we are having very strong communication, and we are waiting like to connect security token and also NDE, Academy of Private Investor. So why we need Academy of Private Investor? Because guys, once we will take this academy into the different level, so where it will be not only for our community, which is already, I hope you are like going through the courses, you already learn a lot, you already implemented this in your personal life, and now we are taking this to the different platform, or let's say to the different audience. So that means that people will be becoming more educated. I will tell you that when 2014, when I started MLCI business, the reason why I started, of course, it was my back issues, but I was always doubting myself of having a decent job. I mean, like a high paid job, only because of one reason: I didn't have the higher education. And I was doubting myself, like my state was going, let's say, through my doubts. But then I started to study in academy. So then I implemented in a practice. And that led me to pass exam of the government course and get my broker certificate. Without that preparation, without that knowledge that I was feeding myself with, I will not gonna have these results. That's why academy is a crucial. Another one is a Dragon Man. So we already finished the movie. So right now we just have to polish, you know, all these special effects and things like that. But Dragon Man is already there. Yes, it's been, again, delaying the project. But I want to refer that all these delays are not only in this company. Delays are happening in all the companies. Myself, I even have, how you call it, I'm following up many companies and all their promises that been given to the investors, that been given to even workers, they are all not fulfilled. And there's a one reason, and that is a reason which happened externally, and that impacted the entire world. But we still are working on it, and we already have this movie shooted. And instead of one movie that we were having as idea, we made two movies, one for Chinese market, one in Indian market. And very soon, guys, you will see the people who will be involved into the media, into marketing, and you will see that we are going not just, you know, release and like whatever happened, but we are going to do something big, because we are expecting to get funds from it, reinvest into the new movies, and then the profit that we have to distribute, like we promised, it will be going through the bonus profits. Smart portfolio, that is another thing that we are focusing, and the reason why we are focusing on the smart portfolio, because it's a great tool, and that great tool is also developing. And if you are following Ian's Ivan webinars, then you can also see that there is a lot of progress. They very soon they will have wallet where our blockchain will be attached. So I want you to understand that we are not just aiming to have one business and, you know, just implement that business capabilities, but we are looking how to connect and how to blend everything into the one place. So I hope a little bit you understand. So now, next slide, please. Why I'm spend quite a decent time on explaining this, because all these businesses, guys, are impacting directly our security token. And that is in the process. So we wish that we will be able, let's say, to bring all that information right now to you. But first of all, there are a lot of challenges. And the reason why we have these challenges, because guys, 176 countries, I doubt that any company has. This is our advantage and disadvantage in the same time. But as we said, like we also get this response from the company who is right now working on our roadmap, who is working on our exit strategy and all the bits and pieces. So They gave us the deadline, and that will be within the September. We have to get and present this to you. So blockchain development, that is also ongoing process. Like if you will go to the Explorer, you will see that this Explorer is running 24/7. Unitex recently added new feature. Can you please tell me what is the feature? TRC 20. So that was a preparation mode, and now it's executed. Now it's in the testing mode. Later on, it will be adding new tokens. That means that we are going higher every single day, minute, even a second. Marketplace. And all these are actually part of the big global portfolio. Why we are focusing on the marketplace? Because today I'm already having discussion with several MLM businesses, and they like our product, but we don't want to allow them to sell our product on their platforms. So that's why there is a marketplace that we can put all these businesses in one place. Because what we have, they don't have. Yes, they have other stuff. That's why we are always looking for collaboration for win-win. NDE, that is also what we are focusing on. It's in the progress. I believe that last information that I got, Emanuele Baroni and his team said that they already made over 120 smart contracts. Genius of finance. I don't know if you are following my or my wife's Instagram, but even here in Dubai, so we are creating with the new people Genius of Finance trainings, and we are showing the people not only how you can change your perception, how you can improve yourself, but we are also showing that this is a vehicle how you can make money. Because today, any training, any development, any coaching session, it costs money. But instead of just asking questions, so you can use this gaming platform and you can create the situations, you can see what the person is doing, and then you can help them. Quantum is again, so this is something that is ongoing project. And our main one today, because it has quite a decent amount of gold, it's a gold project. And that gold project is a necessity for us to back up our security token. And we are even right now thinking, okay, how based on all these projects, so now again, pay attention, please. All right, so let me get your focus here. Let's think, based on what we have, how we can increase the number of the members, followers, haters, lovers of our company, how we can increase. Of course, giving them something and bring them into our community. Because today we are like a 1.7 million community. But I want you to pay a good attention is that if guys, we will not gonna do anything, not gonna create any new products, then all of us, we will get into the first category, and that category was sitting on a fence and wait. But what we are doing right now, we are creating the tools to attract the external community. And when together we will get from that first category to the third category, we will be proactive. We will take responsibility and we'll say, okay, I will not going to give up on my company because I'm the co-owner. I am the one who is responsible. I will not going to allow anyone to take from me like a 5-6 years of my support. Then we will increase, we will double the size of the community. Maybe there will be some customers, maybe there will be some leaders, maybe there will be, I don't know, some another supporters or just the consumers. It doesn't matter. But when we will increase that amount of people, that means that we will be growing our price. Our value will grow. Next slide, please. So I would like now to show you which projects we put on the pause by one of another reason. And there are several reasons. So the diamond production is in the pause because Andrei Khavratov directly was dealing with the several people. And at the moment, we don't have full access. So that's why instead of us to put our focus and, you know, to work with the people who are, let's say, responsible, and we know that there will not going to be collaboration or synergy by any reason. So that's why we are just considering that, okay, so we have to put on a pause this business, and then we have to work on something that is here and which allow us to explode. And these companies I already mentioned earlier. And I really detailed why. Basalt. So Basalt today, one of the reasons is that CEO, or let's say director, he was from a place where right now they are, let's say, focusing more on political situation. Okay, and that's why, of course, like there is a missing communication between, let's say, between us and this company. But again, it doesn't mean that we are just, you know, getting rid of that company. It's there, but it takes time, it takes team, it takes investment to develop it. I hope it's clear. UGain, some people said, hey, yes, like you promised UGain. UGain is still there, but there are technical things that needs to be improved, and there needs to be injection of the either venture capitalists or we have to, I don't know, raise money from maybe our profitable businesses and then invest, and then we will develop it one way or another. Digital doubles, we still like having discussion, of course. Let's say, what was the agreement between Andrei? It's a little bit different when now we are stepping in. Real estate, it's still there. So I want you to maybe write it down. So the projects on the pause are the projects where we have share, but we are temporary, not focusing full time, because we give priorities to, let's say, those businesses which can start to produce income and profit much more faster. I hope it's clear. Okay. And one of the projects that will be, let's say, more detail explained by my good friend, the person who actually took action, and he said, okay, I will not gonna wait. I will stand for it. Like I will do whatever it takes. And that person today is leading one of the biggest, let's say, biggest business or biggest project from Switzerland. I would like to give this floor to Valentin Sokolnikov, the person who stands together, locked arms with all of us and saying, okay, so let me think, let me work out, let me prepare, let me connect, but this project will not gonna go away. So Valentin, floor is yours.
Let's do our sound check from 1 to 10 to let me know if you can hear me well. And please give me 1, 2, or 3 pluses if you are the first time at this webinar. So put down 1 if you are the first time, 2 if the second time, the third time. And I'd like to call upon the newcomers. So I believe there are some questions why we need to listen to all this, and we would like to explain all this about what Mila did, Armand did. Quite likely the information has been repeated, but it is important for understanding what is going on, how the business develops, and the processes for business development, and understanding that the company that was established today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, it will generate profits. And our experience shows that we have some clients in global unit pay who had business and paid quite good dividends, about 100% per year. But this summer, these companies, due to this or that reason, which are unknown, stopped their business. And quite likely those people who live in Europe, they may have heard of such companies. There were some announcements, they were well known, they paid taxes and generated income, but no one knows where they are now. And therefore, it should be noted that global investment portfolio companies are still developing. They are not abandoned. They are not lost. And the main idea is that we should not actually develop one business, but a group of businesses covering different segments, different areas. And this is what we show and what we do. Global Unit Pay company, if you don't know, I will make a short overview. So firstly, the company was established as the in-house company for in-house transactions, transfers, and there were payments made to the leaders, partners that grow MLCI business. But afterwards, we understood that the services provided onto the market are very competitive. And therefore, not everyone needs the services we provide. And if you are not in cryptocurrencies, quite likely the company will be of no interest, or you don't make international transfers. It would be of no interest to you. But we focus on blockchain, crypto business. We do focus on such companies that make multiple transactions, payments to MLM companies, MLCI companies, and we have those clients, MLM companies that are not a part of global portfolio, but they are our clients. Or another example, we have global unit pay cards. Put a plus if you do have one, or minus if you don't have it. While you are answering, in Europe, there was a company which closed down. You see, there are those with no cards, and there are those with the cards. And we have a partner, our client, by the way. They are our business partner, and they are our client, and they sell global unit pay virtual cards for $200. So it is evidence-based, and they attract new clients. And therefore, if you believe that no one needs these cards, so there is an example of this company selling these cards for $200. And by the way, they are branding and making their own design so that they will be able to sell these cards even more expensive. So therefore, this business is really demanded. And Global Unit Pay in particular showed that the company, it's not the first year the company is in the market, it makes its income. Yes, there are no super high dividends so that we can pay them to the cards or tokens, but nonetheless, the company is developing. And the banking services and F&T token, we discussed it actually last year. Last year at Dubai exhibition, we got some recognition and rewards, and there were some articles in newspapers that the company is in crypto. After that, the bank closed our accounts, and which means that not all the banks would like to cooperate with crypto companies, and many other companies in crypto industry cannot open their accounts. For instance, Dubai company may have a crypto license, but a bank account is not opened. And we have many Dubai companies making transactions, different transactions, and we may provide banking service to them. And it's great that we restarted this. And the banking service which we use are third-party banks that are licensed. So now our goal, our objective is to have a fintech license, banking license, so that we can open banking accounts and carry out transactions like a bank. But unlike a traditional bank, there are some limits, 100 million that you may keep in the account. As soon as the company exceeds this limit, the company is obliged to get a banking license. This is the reason why I'd like to explain that fintech receipt is another great step to crypto banking industry, and we are all in this business. And next slide, let's have a look. What are we adding in addition to fintech, and why do we work with tokens and crypto industry? Crypto market as such is huge. So put down the figure of capitalization of cryptocurrencies in the chat if you know. If you don't know, then go to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. This is multi-trillion market in view that it is crypto winter time. And the number of wallets on blockchain exceeds 300 million, which means that at the end of 2023, there will be over 1 billion people involved in crypto transactions. Therefore, we follow a path of tokenization of our products to attract additional community, additional people involved in cryptocurrencies, and this way we get additional clients who will act as our users, our clients. And here the distribution of tokens is as such. Firstly, there are pre-sales, then private sales, launch pads, and mixed funds, then public sales, the so-called IEO, initial exchange offering, when the token is sold on the exchange, and then we may offer it to the exchanges, and then there will be free tail. 45% is our provision reserve, the so-called storage, which will be unchangeable, and it will be used, for different financial activities we would have in the entire fintech ecosystem, F&T world, that will take some actions. And what are the benefits? First of all, this is a reserve. Secondly, this is a community. What I mean by this, there won't be tokens that belong only to the company, so that the company may manipulate in the markets, dumps or pumps. So the tokens will be used to the user, will belong to the users. There will be one common instrument when people may use the platform, the system for their daily routine. For instance, you need to open a shop, you have the card, or you can actually exchange your crypto. There will be cold and hot wallets as your crypto custody. This is another area of the business, direction of the business, which is very popular with the banks, large venture funds, and large holders of cryptocurrencies. I mean that a person may keep in this cold custody his assets with no access for outside parties, and he may withdraw with no approval. So this is a separate business. It is quite valid, and this is multi-billion cryptocurrencies which are kept in such custodial crypto wallets. There will be a special burning of tokens, the so-called deflation, when the company uses its profits to buy out tokens on the market and burn them. And a person who is a user or a holder of such a token, this is another advantage due to many reasons. Firstly, like for common use and a possibility to provide the possibility to use it to those who are interested. Next slide, please. And I'd like to detail those services that will be provided. First of all, they are debit cards of different levels, limits, and amounts, starting from the baseline and the elite that could be provided upon a special invitation. There was a question, who may get a black card upon a special invitation? One option, it could be a president under the Rich Affiliate program, or there was another example. Mr. Baroni last year proposed to establish a club of a star club of millionaires. If you have 1 million CRU, you get 1 star, or you have more than, you may have 2 or 5. For instance, if you have CRU, WorldCRU, UNTB, and many others. So a person with at least 1 million tokens, different tokens, will get this card automatically. This is a more exclusive option to enter such a community, but it will be discussed in addition. Someone may not be interested at all. And for those who are not interested, there will be other cards, other limits, other opportunities. Then the system of values. This is the so-called possibility to use money when you don't want to dispose your coins. For instance, if you have 1 Bitcoin bought for 60,000 and today the price is lower, and if you don't want to sell it because you believe in the future for Bitcoin, then a person may use this Bitcoin as a backup. So he may guarantee the value of some urgent expenses he may have by using this Bitcoin, and a person afterwards may cover some indebtedness he may have and get his Bitcoin back, and again wait for better times and better prices for Bitcoin. Another option is portfolio management. In this case, we are talking about staking, making money, and possible programs for rewarding when people will provide their cryptocurrencies or stable coins for some activities. For instance, you've heard of pool of liquidity, and such pools are generally required at the exchanges, so that exchanges may operate in this money, and the exchange makes money, and the provider of this liquidity, so the supplier of the liquidity, makes its earning, and the people will be able to provide their stable coins, for example, as the liquidity, and at the same time they will be rewarded through those transactions that will be used to maintain liquidity. Another option is membership. This means, for instance, when the number of FNT tokens will influence the amount of rewards and the amount and the rewards under the system of values and the limits of debit cards. And this membership will be required for all other clients, companies, and partners who would like to benefit from the services of FNT ecosystem. And the burning mechanism I mentioned above is the so-called deflation. When a company buys out the coins from the market, from those people who are not trading, to burn them. And this way we will see that the number of coins decreases, and this way their value will increase, because the less the demand on the market, the less the supply on the market is, the higher the demand is. Next slide, please.
Here you can see the number of packages for closed sales, those that are left. So, and please give me a plus in the chat if you already got the chance of purchasing such packages, and give me a minus if for some reason you haven't participated yet. So those who gave me a plus, congratulations. Those who gave a minus, so make up your mind, and you still have time to participate, or you can stay in the observation mode, be passive, and then only act when you get a clear signal. But at the same time, you should remember that the company has certain goals, and you can simply observe the company achieve those goals. Also, please note that the number of packages is decreasing over time. And what we said during our first webinars, it's still already in the process, and you will learn about it during our next slides. Let's go to the next slide, by the way, and let's make a comparison between similar companies that offer a similar package of services. For example, the CRO, crypto.com. They started with initial token price of more than $2, and their growth was X 24.63. It's a similar situation is with other companies that started their public sales at one price and then experienced immense growth. So we want FNT to be listed in the external market at 5 cents plus. Well, the price can be higher, of course. It will all depend on the venture funds, their involvement, if they want to have an exit opportunity. So there are private funds that would like to enter the project at one price and then exit it at another price with a profit. For that company, it's going to be exit, of course, but for participants who join in early, at the early closed stages, it's almost always profitable. Now let's go to the next slide, please. $68 million, even more than $68 million, was the income of the company that provides just one service out of the list of services that I mentioned before. And that company paid 30% dividends. Moreover, it paid more than $20 million in dividends. The token growth was 10x. The community grew to more than 3 million, and the total capitalization was more than $1 billion. And I'm talking just about one company providing one service. They don't have a banking services. They didn't issue their own cards. Only recently they got it. Moreover, that company cannot send their cards to Latin America, North America, or India. This is just one company with one service, a couple of extra new services right now. Currently, their token price is even higher, and the community size is also bigger. I'm talking about Wirex company. They're still developing. Yes, they have their own cards, but they do not have crypto deposit. They do not allow you to stake coins to get a reward. It's just one of the examples. Now imagine or ask yourself a question. Let's go to the next slide, please. What would you do if you got, let's say, $20+ million as your income from FNT tokens? So it's 1 cent per one FNT token, and the token price would be X10 or over $200 million with 10 cents per one FNT token and the token price X100, or over $2 billion with $1 per one token and the token price X1000. If you're telling me that it's too much, it's unrealistic, take a look at the real examples, at the real companies in the market listed in the exchanges, and you can Google it up. It's open data, public data, because the companies are public. Norwood Company, Wayne Bank, they have been in the market since 1871, and they received a net profit of more than $24 million. Old National Bank Corp, another company established since 1834, they provide mortgages, banking services. Their income was 277 million in 2021. Another company, Annaly Capital Management, they deal only with mortgages, and their net profit after taxes was more than $2.3 billion. And the company is just 20 plus years old. So those are the real examples of companies that are more than 100 years in the market and those that are only 20 years in the market. And young companies show multi-billion profits, let alone like Goldman Sachs and BlackRock companies who have under their management more than $5.7 trillion. I'm talking about clients, hedge funds that they manage. So what I'm driving at here is our company has far-going plans, ambitious prospects, and probably not everyone understands what the company is doing, but let's take a look at the facts. We have plans, we have goals. Probably we're not as big as and as renowned to compare ourselves to Goldman Sachs or even BlackRock, but nevertheless, yes, it's possible. And yes, we can get to that. Moreover, we have already started implementing those plans. So let's go to the next slide. Yes, probably you saw that slide already, which is our market roadmap, how to bring our token to the market. We are in Q3 right now, and we are already midway. In Q4, we will have the closed sales rounds, we will have kickoff marketing campaigns, and we'll have the technical implementation of the FNT token. Let's go to the next slide. So it will be Q1, Q2, 2023. Then we're going to have the bounty campaign, start of the public sales, exchange listing on tier 1, tier 2 companies, and then we'll have the beta launch. Then we can provide that product to our testers and users. And also we will start implementing some of those services now without waiting for Q3. For example, we have ideas how to start implementing certain functions on the Unitex exchange. Now let's go to the next slide and see what we have achieved so far. So we finalized our utility concept. We finished our roadmap. The tokenomics is in development. Internal sales have been kicked off. Landing is ready. White paper will be issued together with the tokenomics. Also, we started our initial development. Then social networks and social channels will start next week. We will start publishing links to our groups in social media for us to start building a certain community around it, creating groups where we're going to talk about the FNT world and the FNT token. So each of you are welcome there. If you're already holders of FNT tokens, please come along. If not, you're welcome anyways. See how the company is developing, how it's moving forward. As Armand said, be in that observation mode, and you can observe the progress and then make up your mind whether or when you want to join in and what you need to do for that. And also creating community channels. As I said, it relates to social media. Also, we have certain deadlines that we are planning to stick to. And after those deadlines, we will be announcing what we have achieved so far. Now let's go to the next slide, please. We are planning to increase the price of FNT tokens. In other words, for the same size of the package, you will get 15% fewer FNT tokens from the 15th of September, because by then we will already have in place the documents that we need. So I'm talking about the white paper and tokenomics. So we'll release the first version, and because of that, since we'll be farther along our way, we will increase the token price. So if you already purchased it, congratulations. If not, then hurry up. During our first presentation, we didn't have any tokenomics, any white paper. We had only plans, and now we are almost there. Therefore, people should have more benefits and advantages if they made up their mind early, who believe in the company, who know what we're doing, how we're developing, and what we're going for. And I would like to thank you all again for your participation. Today has been a nice day, the 3rd of September. And I would like to pass the floor back to Mila, because she has some very important information that she would like to share with you. Also, we will have a Q&A form. You can use it and have a nice, productive end of the week and next week too. Mila, you have the floor.
Thank you, Valentin. Thank you, Armand. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed today's webinar and general, like all information you have received. And I would like just to go to the summary page. Let's go to the next slide. So first of all, as you can probably see now, and can you put from 1 where you're confused and 10 where it's all clear? Where are you now at the moment with understanding that each project selected and looked after can be massive success to their entire portfolio? I hope that we have managed to provide you with this information, which now put slightly in a different way, that we are not trying to find yet another instrument and neglected what we have so far built years. We have selected the best instruments, and this is what Armands has shared with you. What are the promising projects we are working at the moment, which can really make a big difference for the global portfolio? So if FNT, it's complicated for you. If their FNT, it's maybe too much because it's some technical knowledge required, then we have a beautiful project, Evercent, which is much more simpler and which is having the tangible product in hand. So it all depends on your personality as well, but you can connect with the different projects. And the most important that you understand holistically how each project individually can benefit entire portfolio, but also having its own story, because each project has own products, each project has own profitability. And some of you ask me the question, can an FNT token be more profitable than WCRU? Potentially, yes, it can, because each project, again, has own story. So the WCRU has a holistic approach. Everything is there. That's why we love it so much. It is diversification is there. There is assets, protections there. It has been growing within our concept of NEEW for so many years. But also independent projects, they are also very interesting to look at because they have own market niche. So that's why it's very important to understand that, yes, each project is individual because it has individual performance, it has individual usability and development. And yes, some projects could be more profitable than others. Each project will require some extra time to the development resources, like Armand mentioned about the gold, for example. So the company actively looking at some major investor at the moment for the gold mining project because it will require some funding. Maybe also our community will decide to launch I don't know, the golden token. Actually, put the plus if you like this idea of having some maybe the golden token in the future, which could be backed up by real gold. And because the WCRU company is owner of the golden mining, there is a very big possibility of creating, you know, other projects outside of what we have in our portfolio. So it's about you have an understanding how each project is developed. The ideas is there, the energy is there. Of course, each project would need to look carefully from the different angle, and that's why we wanted to bring you some variety where you can choose what is there for you. So if you fell in love with their FNC and you understand what is staking, you understand how working the cards, the virtual, the token itself, you understand the project roadmap, and it's clear, then you can use amazing instruments MLCI and you can build a business on the backbone of FNC token. And this is so unique. There is not a company usually who launch the new product will ever give a networking structure to it. It's hardly ever happened. And majority of the projects who manage to combine networking and investment, unfortunately, they failed. And we've been in the market, I will remind you, this October, it will be celebration 8 years. So MLCI concept will celebrate 8 years. And we are now preparing amazing event, Eventi 2022, which information will be launched very soon. So there are lots of things is happening in the company. There are lots of things which we can move forward. But again, only with a few people, it will be not possible to do. So we need everybody to be on the same page. We need the people understanding, support, people patience, not because we are coming with excuses, but because we're trying to paint overall the picture what's happening in the world and how these events can actually affect the project performance and why this is happening. That's why if you feel like the events like this has been useful for you and you have a bit more clarity, please put plus in the chat, and maybe we can do such events more frequently when myself, Armands, other project managers like Valentin this time, maybe other people can join. We can give a bit more clarity to, in general, what is happening with the company, what projects are moving forward, what projects are ongoing, and you know, like they do have the team by itself, and what projects are there being put in post. And I believe Armands clearly explained why it's happening like this. So the next, what we are waiting forward is to detailed roadmap of the WCRU. So it will be September. I put September, October, just in case some delays has happened, because it is not us who do the roadmap. There is a company which we hired specifically for that purpose. They have been in STO markets for so many years. They have invested, they said 50,000 hours on the platform when they developed the STO concept for multiple companies, and we are one of the clients at the moment. So they will work and provide us with their roadmap of the WCRU, which then we will share with our community. We will ask you feedback and in general to see how we can take this project further. Because one more time, it is a good and bad to have a community. Good to have community, because when community has a power and when community have belief that, you know, we're gonna do it, we're gonna smash it, then it's beautiful. It's the biggest assets. People are the biggest assets in the company, not assets like a gold or companies, but people are. But from another hand, if community is big and negative and you know, nagging and saying, oh, it's another year past, what's going on, then the same community become a liability, not an asset. So I would like you guys to be an asset to the company, to help the company to go through this stormy phase of life and to go through the challenges and help us to actually thrive and go to the next level. And with the projects which we have selected, we choose them for the reason because we understand how to scale them, how to introduce them to the market. I don't know what will happen end of this year. I don't know what will happen next year. There are so many regulations coming to the market, and what works initially for us, it doesn't longer serve this purpose. So that's why you need to always be flexible with your investment decisions and with your investment mindset. There is not a guarantee in life. There's no guarantee that tomorrow will be sunny day or rainy day. But as soon as you are doing the moving and going through your journey with a heart, with the open heart, and with the right intention, I believe the universe will help us and guide us. And today we have absolutely new teams as well. Like Alex, you met him on a previous event of the FNT. We have Dr. Khalifi, who working closely with Armands, and there are like another team who's looking after our global portfolio. So there's so many good things happening. So I hope that today you learned something new, you are excited, which is the most important, and you're happy to walk together with us on this journey. So share your feedbacks, not just here, but general in social media, in the chats. Let's put some positivity out there, because it feels like sometimes a bit lonely. So we have a massive community. And I would like to thank you all for being here with us. And now I'm passing to the Armands to get their powerful ending of today's webinar. But thank you, guys. That's all from my side. I see you soon. Armand, floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mila. So what else I can add? So you already said everything that I wanted to say. Probably, yes, I see a lot of people are texting and sharing positive comments. I will tell you this. If you are alone, then it seems hard to achieve anything in your life. But when you have at least one person who believes in you, then you have some hope. If you have 2-3 people, then there is some motivation. And when you have a lot of people, then there's a driving force. So today we are all in the same boat. And in my training with the top leaders, I made an, let's say, example or analogy of me and Mila. Okay, we are sitting and everyone is having, let's say, in the hands, row a boat. Then we have some top leaders, we have some people who are, let's say, dedicating their time, and they are also like helping us, right? So with rowing that boat. But then there is a huge community, like Mila just mentioned, about the liability, huge community, which is just acting as an anchor. And imagine few people are trying to row the boat, but then there is a huge anchor that is not allowing that boat. You understand what I mean? How come we quickly can get to our destination if there is a huge anchor? Good question, isn't it? Cut the rope. But I was thinking about it, and what I figure out is like, it will be cool to get that anchor on the board and everyone together start rowing that boat. And this will give us very speedy success. We don't have to wait for years, so we can achieve it much more faster. And that's why this is up to us. I mean, up to me, you, and all of us. If we are, guys, every single day, at least 1 hour, just let's commitment. Let's make a commitment, 1 hour a day. I'm doing something. I'm doing something to help in any way. I will give you some ways how you can help, all right? I'm happy to get it, press plus. If you are happy, 1 hour, just dedicate 1 hour. Okay, I see. So 10 minutes, social media. Unitex wasn't listed on CoinMarketCap, and the feedback, or let's say the reason was that Unitex Twitter account and Telegram account doesn't have enough audience. Just imagine how, it's not stupid, but how silly it is. Like we have here about, I don't know, 1,000 people. And if every single one of us, we will just, I don't know, tweet, retweet, like, just put some activity, put some comment. It's only 1 hour, guys, 1 hour per day. And that's like to commit, all right? So 1 hour. So we will be able to show the activity in the social media. So when you go and you approach any platforms, you go into the collaboration, all these people are asking, show your community. And when we are going and we are showing the crypto unit official chat in Telegram, okay, it's decent. There is some activity going on. And people see that and they said, all right, so we see that you have a decent community. So which means that you have really something, you know, serious behind. But then when Unitex is trying to develop, and in the Unitex we have 1,000 members, it sounds really silly, isn't it? But this is our reality. Unfortunately, this is the world that we are living today in. Nobody cares about what product you have. Everybody cares about how big community you have. And that's why I would like to refer back to our CEO, Andrei Khavratov, who from the day one said, we will succeed in this company only when we will focus on the 1 billion mission, 1 billion community mission. 15% of the population. This is why, because in the new reality, it's much more valuable, your active community, rather than the project or the product that you are making. Does it make sense? So which means that I'm referring back to that anchor. So we are trying to row, we are trying to get to that destiny. We are willing to do that. We are capable, and we know that we can do that. But then this 1.5 million people anchor is there. So please understand it. Get to that moment. And then I'm telling you, we all will succeed. One way or another. I get today a message from one of the leader, and he said, yes, it's a stormy, it's a challenging times. The storm is there. We are losing hope sometimes. But because of leaders who are standing strong, and they're saying, we will manage, we will reach the destiny no matter what. Sooner or later, we will get there because our focus is there. Even if I will not going to be able to run, I will walk. If I can't walk, I will crawl. If I will not going to crawl, I will be lying in that direction. But let's do that together. And don't forget that right now, this is our company. And it depends on us. How it will look like at the end of the year. in the next year, in 5 years down the line. And you see today my commitment, Mila's commitment, top leaders' commitment. You see this. And we will not gonna go away until we will make it. Thank you so much for being here, for dedicating your time, and let's together make really brilliant things. Like our partner said, we already created Rolls-Royce in the crypto. We already did it. It's there. And fuel also is there. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day and see you next time. Bye-bye.